Scrappy Peep, Suzanna here today for Bella Blvd to share with you this 2-photo cat Halloween layout. So I am using the Spell on You collection, and you can see I've chosen 3 pieces of patterned paper, and what I want to do is create, they're not headers because they're along the side, but I want to create strips along the left and right hand sides of the page, and then I'm going to use these tall photos along either side. I'm trying very hard to not look at the back sides of these papers because I get so hung up on, oh, but I could use that. Oh, and then I don't use anything. So make sure that you know that some of these papers are directionally biased per se. So that black piece with the, I don't know what that shape is called, but we'll call them sparkles. They pretty much go up and down. You can use them the other way, but because I'm creating a very vertical strip here, I want to make sure that I use the vertical orientation of those. This particular piece of pattern paper, right, which the black focus on the orange, it doesn't really matter, but those sparkles, it does. So you can see I've got asymmetrical strips on either side, but I do have the black and white stripes that pull that together. You can do matching stripes, but it's just very uniform, and I just wanted a little bit of variety. You could also, if you were of the distressing type, distress these pieces, but I tend to go for the cleaner look. You'll also see at the end of the layout, if you were of the distressing type, you could definitely use some paint splatters or some mist splatters here. But again, I'm a little bit cleaner than that. So these photos are 6 by 3. I actually cropped them and printed them that way, but you could absolutely crop your 6 by 4s if you wanted to. So I have all of the embellishments here, and I am digging through the ephemera pieces now, and I just want something to fill in that white space in the middle, although I know I'm going to put the title and the journaling there. And then just fun, supplementary, complementary pieces. I've already got a lot of black on that left-hand side. And so I want to have a little bit more black on the right-hand side in order to balance the contrast of darks and lights between the right and the left. So I am pulling out some of the word phrases, thinking that I will use a few of those scattered throughout the page. And I actually end up using pretty much all of the phrases that I pull out. You will not see me do that on camera. I am well known for off-camera adding things. I think you get a different perspective when you stand and look at it at a distance versus when you're standing right over it, right? It's that perspective thing. And so I often will go in off camera and just add a few things here or there, but I do often tell you about it. So these I'm going to pop up on top of the photo, and more for the symmetry, again, of right and left. When I work on opposing sides of the page, I like to be able to tie them together somehow, and then span the gap, create a bridge, and I know that's what's going to happen with the title in there. So I am using some double-sided foam to pop up some of these things. I just like the shadow that creates, which also adds a little bit of black. I also like dimension on my pages, which is why these Luna Alpha puffy stickers are just perfect. So I want to stick with my color palette of purple, orange, and black. And there are 2 purples, so I'm going to work with Black Plum, which is the darker of the 2 purples, and Cotton Candy, which kind of has a pinky hue to it. I debated long and hard after the fact whether I was going to take that Cotton Candy off and just use the 3 colors, but because it really does look really pink next to the darker purple, the plum. That's that one up there, the reddy. But I decided that you just need to go for it sometimes. You made the design choice, and sometimes you just have to stick with it unless it ruins the design, which I don't think this does. So I am using a thin ruler, and so I'm lining up all the letters with the 1/4 inch mark, and it's just an easier way of getting letters straight. I am terrible at lining up letters. I will often do them skiwampus intentionally so that you can't tell that I'm terrible at lining up letters, but I kind kind of did want these to go kind of cascade down the page, although you'll see in a minute that I actually end up moving ready, and so there's 3 lines instead of 4 lines, and I'm glad I did because it helped me make the design choices that I'm going to make in a minute. So you can see I cut out the B and the exclamation part of boo, and I used that to combine my title for ready for spooky season. This poor cat, if you follow my work, she's all over my pages lately. She's just got such a personality, and there's lots of stories to tell about her, but she's the only one who will semi-cooperate with costumes between the 2 cats. She's also the only one who will semi-be around for pictures. And so we were walking around Target the other day looking for a actually, we were looking for a scratch pad house for them. They love the haunted houses, but they also like ones that they can sit on top of as well as in, and we couldn't find one, but we did find this $5 sunflower hat costume for her. And yeah, Nicholas came home to spend the weekend with us, and she was so excited to see him. She's kind of his cat, kind of, and until he picked her up so that I could take more pictures of her in it for like the 3rd or 4th time. But I love these pictures, especially that one on the left, like, really, you're doing this to me? Anyway, so I now have the chipboard pieces, and I love these because they add such fun dimension, and there's always such a fun variety of pieces. So I've got those on the page. You can see I've got the 2 ghosts, and I always use liquid adhesive to put these down. I know they're stickers and they're sticky backed, but I just filed a bunch of my layouts, and I can't tell you the number of even just regular adhesive things that I put that I had to re-adhere with liquid adhesive because things just aren't holding, especially the heavier things. So make sure with the chipboard that you just give it a little extra added oomph, especially if you have as much chipboard as I have on this page, which really pulls on the page. So just building little scenes. I have the little night sky up the top left. I have these ghosts on either side. Again, because they are spanning the bridge per se, they're uniting that title and kind of just pulling it together and closing down that gap there. So I've used the chipboard, the ephemera pieces, and now I have the puffy stickers, and believe it or not, I will actually pull epoxies out in a little bit too. So that eek that's right there, I actually go ahead and use it in that top right cluster off camera, just because I told you I would do that. And then the eek that you saw me shuffling, it's on the top right now, that other eek, the white, the black font on the white, I am going to use that down by the boo, where I actually tried shuffling it around and seeing if it worked there, but there's a lot of white space there, and I just thought that big eek closed that off a little bit. So I'm going to journal there, and that wraps it up, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for stopping in today. Enjoy the close-ups. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.